Hello, inflation fighters. Thank you for joining me, the Penny Nanny, on my channel today. What a beautiful day we have in Wisconsin. It is so nice. And you know what I love about summer? And it usually happens late July or August. The crickets are out constantly. It's a very soothing sound. It's nice to have some nature just to kind of focus on and, natural things, watching the birds eat from the feeder and stuff like that. I'll give you a tour of the yard at some point so you can see. Thank goodness for perennial flowers that come up every year, because that was the majority of our garden this year. So it's working pretty well. And we because of when we planted the garden initially, which was, I'm trying to think, 2018. I think it was 2018. I was buying plants throughout the season. So I got something that comes out almost constantly, or stays growing until the first frost. So that's exciting to me. The only thing I'm disappointed in is I had Asiatic lilies. And those are just one sprig. They don't really, they may spread amongst each other underground, but it never happened after I replanted them. So I don't know if they'll come back. There's a couple different plants we're gonna pull out, partly because they were getting pests on them, and we never had that until last year. Our neighbor last year decided to tear up all of the trees that were between our two yards. And we lost a lot of privacy with that. But along with that, he brought in dirt that was not really meant for gardening. So consequently, everything that's in there just kind of stays where it's at when you put it in there. So next year, hopefully I'll be able to do a lot of the stuff and help my husband out, because he did everything this year because I wasn't able to, but he likes the look of it too, so that's kind of a blessing. So we are doing pantry meals for the week, and so this weekend is weird. My husband's gone out of town for 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Sunday. So it's really just gonna be me eating. So I'm not even bothering to plan that. Whatever looks good to me is what I'm gonna pull out, and that's it. Monday we're doing the pork fillets in the air fryer. Tuesday is gonna be sheet pan nachos. And if you've never had those before, it's just basically you construct it on a sheet pan and heat it up and let the cheese melt and such. Wednesday, we're gonna have pasta, which will probably be spaghetti, with clams and shrimp. We have a bunch of those in well, not a bunch, but one of each in the pantry closet. Let's see here. Thursday is going to be our leftover night, and Friday we're going to have burgers. So I'm not making an appetizer this weekend because they're gone, but I am making 2 different kinds of treats. Let's see, peanut butter cookies, and that one I may actually do a video on because it's only 3 ingredients. So, that's nice. You don't have to do a lot of mixing and stuff like that. And chocolate chip cookies, or some kind of chocolate chip dessert. I haven't really decided yet. I don't really like making cookies from scratch very much. It's just, peanut butter cookies are great because it's just peanut butter, sugar, and I think egg. I have to look it up again, but the chocolate chip cookies, they didn't turn out the way I liked them last time. They were very cake-like, and that's not, I didn't use a cake mix or anything like that, so I don't know why they turned out that way. So I might try something else with chocolate chips instead of making cookies. So then I also came up with a to-do list, and I'm going to pull out a pad that I've had from my business cleaning, and it's broken down in sections of time of day and then just various notes. So I can look at that, make it a head, and every day I look and see, like, I gotta pull out the hamburger in tubes. I have to shred certain cheese. I have to pull out burger patties, pull out burger buns. You get the idea. So I wanted to talk to you today about using what you have in your pantry. Now, we've talked about this a couple times, but you have to do some very creative thinking sometimes. I know a lady who uses hot dog buns as a taco shell instead of actually using a taco shell, because she doesn't have those on hand, but she does have that. So she does have a lot of hot dog buns, so it worked out good that way. But even like tonight, I'm making pizza, and then instead of making pizza crust, because I found out I was out of dough. I don't know how that happened, but I was out of frozen bread dough. But we got a ton of English muffins from one of the pantries, so I'm gonna use those. That's kind of nice, I guess. You get small, some little small pizzas, and you can just have something tiny, but flavorful. You're not limited to cheese types in recipes. So if they gave you a block of mild cheddar and the recipe is calling for Colby Jack or mozzarella or things like that, just use that. I don't know if you've noticed this, but a lot of times I have gone to pizza places and the cheese is orange and white. So it's a blend of some kind. When I was a teenager, my first job was as an adult teenager, 18. I was working at Little Caesars Pizza. And at this time, it wasn't like it is now, where you just kind of walk in, they got pizzas ready, and you just grab and go. I mean, we made them. We ground all the ingredients, we did the cheese, and the cheese was a mixture of mozzarella and provolone. And that was pretty good too. But it's very difficult to find a brick of provolone cheese. You can get a mozzarella brick. But I just think that any cheese, as long as it's not stinky like Gouda or Blue or something like that, it's not really gonna mess up your recipe at all. So getting ready for making the pizzas today, I did not have canned mushrooms in the pantry, but we got, if you remember that surprise pantry I got last week, or at the beginning of the week, those fresh mushrooms were in there. So I just cooked those down, and that's what we're using for mushrooms on our pizza. There's a gal I watch on YouTube. She's called Prepper Princess. And what she does is she saves every piece of vegetable scrap that she gets. She doesn't toss them in the garbage. She saves it in a bag and puts it in the freezer. So then when she is making homemade soup or wants to make a veggie broth, she has stuff she can just supplement it with. You also could take canned soup from the pantries that you receive and just add that stuff in there. I mean, it kicks it up a notch. One thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to find a recipe for something called pepper pot soup. Oh, I love it. It's so good. Of course, the meat I don't eat in there, but anyway. So that's that. So yeah, next week I will show you the planner, I guess we'll call it a planner, that I'm gonna use, and you get to see like the day of the week and what I'm doing and stuff like that. Also, I wanted to mention, it's possible that we are going to stop doing like recipe meals for a while. At least I'm done with this new therapy because I just get so tired. And my guys are meat guys. Like they want some kind of meat and a veggie and a starch. You know, that's pretty much how my husband exists. So the challenge for me is to make sure that he has meat of some kind every meal. You know, he just doesn't consider it a meal. Although when I had HelloFresh coming, I was on the vegetarian plan. So a lot of the things that we made had chickpeas in it or lentils or things like that. So, and that was pretty good. So, you know, using the stuff that there's still some stuff that I froze that I'm working off of, some beans and some corn, I think. But yeah, so that's that. So I hope you're gonna have a great weekend and that the weather by you is beautiful because it does a lot for a good mood. All right, so everyone be well, be blessed, know you're taken care of. Bye now.